The Boone County Fire Protection District was legally established 50 years ago on July 11, 1970, by a vote of its citizens. But our history extends back to 1963, when a small group of Citizen Band or CB Radio Club members decided to establish the Central Missouri Radio Squad, the organization that would eventually become the Boone County Fire Protection District. This group of dedicated citizens, devoted to helping their neighbors, coined the fire district's motto, a helping hand, a motto that is proudly displayed on our current patch and a motto that embodies the volunteer spirit of neighbor helping neighbor, a core value demonstrated by all of our members, both past and present. Here is retired Fire Chief Bill Westoff, the fire district's first fire chief, to narrate the story of our beginning.
The 1960s were definitely not the Stone Age. Interstate 70 was completed from Kansas City to St. Louis. Columbia had its very own McDonald's restaurant, and Parkade Plaza Shopping Center was going full force. The population of Boone County experienced rapid growth also, with over 81,000 calling the county their home by 1970. Columbia had a long-established career-staffed fire department, which had grown to 3 stations. The cities of Ashland, Centralia, and Sturgeon had viable volunteer fire departments serving their communities. Other than that, there was a total absence of firefighting assets protecting the rest of the county. As a result, any fire originating in rural Boone County typically resulted in a total loss. In 1962, a tragic house fire took the life of an elderly woman. The fire occurred on what is now I-70 Drive Northwest, just outside the city limits, close to the property which would subsequently become the headquarters of the Boone County Fire Protection District. The Columbia Fire Department was unable to assist as city ordinances prohibited response outside the city's boundaries. The death of this woman evoked ever-increasing awareness the lack of fire protection in unincorporated areas of Boone County. The compelling need for a rural fire department did not go unnoticed. On March 14, 1964, a group of over 100 residents met at the Rockbridge Elementary School to explore formation of a fire protection district, but the effort did not succeed. Meanwhile, a small group of Citizen Band radio enthusiasts decided to throw their microphones into the endeavor of creating a volunteer fire department. United mainly by the bond of Citizen Band radio communications during the CB fad, the group was known as the Central Missouri Radio Squad. The group worked on their plans and dreams of building a fire department during frequent visits together at the Wigwam Cafe on the Business Loop to drink coffee and discuss political issues as well as fire department activities. The radio squad had previously assisted Sheriff Bud Elkin under the leadership of John Patrick "Pat" Barnes, who owned a Seal Test milk distributing operation in Columbia. The lively group started on the renovation of a 1947 Chevrolet panel truck, which Pat donated to the fire department and needed some restoration. Several radio squad members and other interested parties sanded the 1947 van, placed a beautiful coat of white paint on it, and then adorned the vehicle with bolden red letters saying Central Missouri Radio Squad Volunteer Fire Department. Consequently, they elected John Deneen, the fire chief, and established 2 assistant chief positions, one of which was held by Pat Barnes and the other by Bill Kiger. John had previous experience in the Navy and had received firefighter training there. Another member who played a significant role in the development of the radio squad into firefighters was William Bill Westhoff. Bill brought forth the academic accomplishments of a bachelor's degree in fire science and a master's degree in industrial technology from Oklahoma State University. In late 1966, Bill would assume the role of fire chief of the Radio Squad Fire Department and led for several years into the transition to be the first fire chief for the Boone County Fire Protection District. Digging into their own pockets and shaking down some generous community members, the squad collected a whopping sum of $500 needed to purchase a, quote, nearly new, end quote, 1942 vintage Chevrolet pumper truck through their recently guaranteed access to state surplus properties. The almost antique truck had extremely low mileage, carried a 150-gallon water tank, and a reliable 500-gallon per minute fire pump. In late 1964, the radio squad informally adopted the name Boone County Volunteer Fire Department in order to better identify the area of service coverage for their fire department. By the fall of 1965, it was accepted that the converted chicken house that was being utilized to store fire apparatus was no longer adequate for the needs of the fire department. By the spring of 1966, after having a metal building delivered, the CMRS members assembled it, consequently having a new 3-bay fire station on Highway PP across from the Pine Grove Trailer Court, where the chicken house was originally located. In 1966, the first station residency program began. The first station resident, John Wilk, was an MU junior, starting a tradition of students living in fire stations during their college years. The department constructed their first tanker, returning to state surplus property to acquire a Korean War vintage deuce-and-a-half 6-wheel drive chassis and a 1,000-gallon fuel tank from MFA Oil Company. Around this time in mid-1960s, there were several high-profile fires in the county. It was almost like this handful of volunteers with used and home-built equipment were being tested to see if they could stay the course and stand the heat. The first fire of these fires was in June 27, 1963. The department was dispatched to a fire involving an MFA Oil Company gasoline transport on North 63, which was carrying 7,000 gallons of gasoline. The radio squad crew that responded were successful in attacking the fire. In appreciation for the radio squad members' hard work, MFA Oil again stepped up and donated a 1.5-ton tire service truck from their fleet, which ended up being outfitted with a 250-gallon water tank and a gasoline-powered fire pump and was designated Pumper 4. Several other high-profile fires included a March 13, 1969 transmitter room fire at KOMU-TV. Facing high potential electrical hazards, the firefighters made an efficient and successful save of the building and most of its contents. Obviously, this fire resulted in enormous publicity and earned commendation from the university leadership. Another large fire was on February 26, 1970. The fire was reported in the Olivet Christian Church, a successful defense stand saving the nearly century-old church. It was becoming obvious to all the radio squad members that available funding sources for the Boone County Volunteer Fire Department did not keep pace with the community's expectations, and demands for fire protection services would require additional funding. The sale of fire tags, which had been initiated a year or two before, amounted to a $5 membership fee from each person contacted and additional money of $10 for businesses. Recognizing that the future success of the fire department was contingent on transition into a fire protection district, the volunteers, with the help of numerous citizens, began an aggressive pursuit of a fire protection district election on the 11th of July of 1970. The election was obviously a resounding success, and On August 3rd, 1970, all of the assets of the Boone County Volunteer Fire Department / Central Missouri Radio Squad were transferred to the newly formed Boone County Fire Protection District.
After 50 years, the Boone County Fire Protection District operates 15 fire stations across 500 square miles of central and northern Boone County. We have 225 volunteers that respond to 3,600 calls for service each year. Those calls range from medical calls, vehicle crashes, structure fires, and a variety of rescues. The Fire District also manages Missouri Task Force 1, which is one of 28 FEMA urban search and rescue task forces that respond to a variety of natural and man-made disasters in the United States.
Today, the Boone County Fire Protection District has grown to be one of the largest volunteer fire departments in the United States and the largest volunteer fire department in the state of Missouri. On behalf of the Fire District's Board of Directors, I would like to thank all Fire District members, both past and present, for making the Fire District what it is today, one of the greatest fire departments in the nation. But the need for volunteers continues. Help us build our future and be a part of the legacy that is the Boone County Fire Protection District. Volunteer and lend a helping hand.